Have you heard about hell's husk yet? The husk of hell. Not the husk of the world, not the husk of the earth with the grand rapture, but the husk of hell. Have you ever heard of it? Well, I'm going to propose something that's probably a little antithetical, but when you factor in opposing natures and its effect on the duality of the soul, this illustration will be clear. So in Grimorium and in angelology and demonology also, let's pick out two entities. We're going to pick out Lucifer, and we're going to pick out, we can pick out possibly even three and make it a triad. Lucifer, Folklore, and Lucifuge Rofocale. Rofocale, Lucifuge, rather than being a separate entity, because demons and angels can be both entities in entire places. So they themselves can be like, it'd be like saying me, I could be a person in a place, you know, like I can be a town or a city or a state. So these entities are also, they become places, and in this becomes, you know, they can express themselves in multiplicity. So you have Lucifer, who is referred to as the shining one, right? The shining one. But his opposite of being the light bearer is the one who flees the light. This is Lucifuge. Now, you look at them as two different people, and they get explained as two different people. Yet, when you apply polarity to things and that every light has a shadow side, you'll see that this is the shadow side of the light bearer, one who flees from the light. And this is why I'm tying this into the husk of hell, is because you have, what you're hearing in the underworld is that there are a lot of failed sacrifices. Like, a lot of people are dying and giving up their families and giving up their bodies for nothing. One excuse is that they don't qualify as being part of the 13 bloodlines. But another explanation is based on the level of greed and the level of novice that they're on, they can be included not as the wheat, not as the crop, those that are going to work for the side of darkness, but they'll get allocated to the rubbish. They'll get thrown on the trash heap, so to speak. And with this, what happens with that is you only get the humiliation, you only get the trephination, you only get the disgrace, you only get the rituals, you only get the defilement, and no real reward to match what the sacrifices are. So this is like an artist who gives up their whole family to get in the game, but never has a hit song. When they get in the game, they get shelved. They become the husk of hell. And so they're coming to the shining one to give them all kinds of illuminated dark information, but instead Lucifer becomes Lucifuge to them and hits them with a contract. Since they want to take a shortcut, he gives them something to sign. He gives them a Faustian bargain. Like, well, since you don't want to spend the 25 years or the whatever really acquiring this by hard work and hustle and being able to delay instant gratification, since you want to take the shortcut, as Lucifuge, I, Lucifer, am going to hit you with the contract. And now those years that you forfeited and wanted to backdoor, those years will be mine anyway, because that's what's constituted in the Faustian bargain, Lucifugian agreement. See, a lot of these agents, yeah, they're not so much Luciferian as they are Lucifugian. And you don't hear that term at all yet, but they exist. Lucifugian, those are the prime ministers of hell. So even hell has a ministry where there's a ranking system, and you gotta earn your bones. Now, if you come in it as a true esotericist, you're skipping to the head of the line. You know, in fact, if you know enough, no sacrifice is necessary, because you will have been one who inherently knows the secrets. And anybody who comes in knowing the secrets without having to be told the secrets, they know that the spirit of Christ is with them, and what Christ is, that spirit has free reign in heaven and hell, and gets trembling respect from anything in any realm. The essence of it, you understand, we're not just saying like Jesus per se, but any kind of spirit of Christness, anything that would be constituted as the embodiment of the all. This gets respect in all realms. And so if they are to say what is to be gleaned from the dark side, they will understand certain inherent Solomonic geometries that will pertain to ascertaining the truth out of any spirits that would seek to deceive them, and them trying to acquire certain secrets that's regarded in certain underworlds. Folklore is you can look at that as Rofokel backwards too, because they're dealing with like some of those shortcut gods have fur in their names. Like Belphegor will give you like a shortcut through work, like give you the easy way out. Pertains to laziness. That for is a verb to say that whatever this entity is wrapped up in his name, they're doing something for you. Lucifer, what do you prefer? You know, like that Lucifuge, you know, so there's that F, Belphegor, folklore. Those F's are, the F stand for force. So in the name, the force that they generate from their name and their essence is what you're essentially renting out. That's what you're leasing. You're leasing energies from whatever realm you leasing them from, whether it be the darkness or the light realm. All of these things come with a price. And the reason why a lot of people will take the dark path, because the dark path doesn't involve selflessness. Selflessness is not a part of the trait. Now, in the process, as you become a master on the Ecipsis level, you will eventually discover selflessness just in your hyper observation of things. You will just eventually forget about yourself in the process of this. But on the angel side, it's that self-sacrificing thing first. And, you know, the average person is not going to surrender themselves. And so you got the dark side. If you're not going to surrender yourself, your heart, your mind, if you're not going to put your mind to it, what are you going to put to it? Your family? What are you going to put to it? Your reputation? What are you going to put to it? Your own life, your physical body, your mortality? What are you going to put on the line if you're not putting your time and attention and talent on the line? See, that's how the contract goes. You're going to sign a contract regardless, whether you're making an agreement with yourself or with whatever entity you make the agreement with. You're making the agreement. I know a lot of people think that just because they're not physically going up to representatives of these people, that they're not signing these contracts. Yeah, they're signing these contracts. Just you being in a bad mood every day and being abrasive and confrontational is evidence of you having signed a contract. Now, that deals with the satanic side, and you're dealing with a lot of the adversarial forces, but those are still contracts, agreements, spiritual agreements. Whatever is on you is what you basically agree to, right? You know, it's like a suit that you wear. You're gonna take on that energy. You're gonna wear it. You're gonna possess it. People are gonna say that you have it on you, and if it's on you long enough, people are gonna say, "Oh, that person got it in them." So these are the contracts. There's no real shortcut to success other than supernatural wisdom and clarity. But you can take the shortcut to it, but in the end, it costs you more. It's like a credit card. If you can't pay the bill, you're going to end up paying 4 times the cost of whatever the item was, versus if you save the money, stack it day by day, week by week. It's like, oh, everybody got something new. You waiting on the big thing, but you stack it. They can't see how close you are to purchasing the item. But once you got the item, you got it. It's not going to cost you anything. You only buying it that one time, because you decided to take the long way. So that's the mystery behind Faustian bargains and Lucifer being Lucifuge to a lot of people who are wanting to step into Luciferian practices solely for material gain and for the sake of survival, biology, self-preservation. This is essentially what each person should be in many of this stuff for anyway, to enhance their life. If that's not what they want to do with anything they embark on, wouldn't they be disingenuous? You want to get spiritual growth, but why? You want to make things easier for yourself and other people, and that's gonna involve some reasonable amount of resources involved in it, sure. So to negate the necessity of that, it's just foolishness. It's just foolishness, pure out folly, and dishonesty. So again, on higher levels, we don't look at these entities as good or evil. We just look at them as whatever they are. If you want to say they're evil, whatever, say what they are. You don't have to swear allegiance to any of these entities either. There's descriptions out there, there's understandings out there, there's characteristics out there. Take these characteristics, the best of them, however you could use them, adapt them to yourself. But the key thing is you want to learn as much as you can, and don't be afraid of your brain. All right, don't be afraid of your brain. It's not going to explode if you take in too much information. Your mind is going to expand, but that's not going to break your brain. Super T Sigma, Sigma programming. Y'all stay up, continue to learn, continue to grow.